is brand new.
Remember that night at the Hippodrome? Never knew that look when you look at me. Nervous as hell, so I didn't win a lot. You're the salt, I'm the lemon on the top. Heart quicking, south of the river. Mouth full of Vinny, sitting cans full of liquor. Street light flickers, feel it in my blood. Any which way I turn out, the lights burn dimmer. And the heart quicking, south of the river. Mouth full of Vinny, sitting cans full of liquor. Street light flickers, feel it in my blood. Any which way I turn out, the lights burn dimmer. And 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 any which way I turn out, the lights burn dimmer. Heart quicking, south of the river. Mouth full of Vinny, sitting cans full of liquor. Street light flickers, feel it in my blood. Any which way I turn out, the lights burn dimmer. Heart quicking, south of the river. Mouth full of Vinny, sitting cans full of liquor. Street light flickers, feel it in my blood. Any which way I turn out, the lights burn dimmer. Turn up to see my mates. Heart quicking, south of the river. Mouth full of Vinny, sitting cans full of liquor. Street light flickers, and the lights burn dimmer. And the lights burn dimmer. And the lights burn dimmer. And the heart quicking, south of the river. Mouth full of Vinny, sitting cans full of liquor. Street light flickers, and the lights burn dimmer. And the lights burn dimmer. And the lights burn dimmer.
Oh, hold on. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Good morning, good morning. I just need to check something real quick. Actually, not even sure if anybody's in here, but I'm testing something out. Give me a moment if you are here. Which is why this link is public. I just had to, working on a little project. See if it picked up this YouTube stream. But aside from that, we'll take a look at some markets too. I believe they just opened here, 9:30. Got a little bell on that. Let me see here. Open. This right? Yes, open. It's burned dim, and the lights burned dim. Bum, bum. Yes, good morning. Good morning if you guys are tuning in. Give me 1 second. Let me just check out this code that I have. I just want to see if this worked. It should say I'm live, right? I do think that the markets, they might give us an opportunity today to do something, but I think the overnight traders really had the best opportunity, unfortunately. Let's see. This does say that I'm live. Sick. And that page is broken for some reason. Okay. Alright, well, I'll fix that later. Alright, so let's take a look, guys. Let me see what we got here. Morning, Nico. What's going on? Yeah, Nasdaq is pushing up here at the open, which is interesting. Yeah, I mean, I would really only be interested in the... I don't even know if I'd be interested up here. Swept pretty nice last night. I don't know, I would like to see this slow down after the open here. I would like to see us kind of continue to sell off. My main idea... Maybe this messes around a little bit more. My main idea is I kind of want to trade away from the liquidity grab that we finally got on these triple highs. I honestly almost thought these triple highs for a second were going to hold throughout the week, but we did come seek and destroy these yesterday. And I'm just most interested in to see if we continue to hold below here. We've kind of established a new range inside of here now. So I'm saying maybe we revisit the upward bounds of these range, but I really would like us to kind of trade away from this high. Would be most ideal. We sweeped all of that. Yeah, I think if we're going to continue and take out these lows, which is what I really want from Nasdaq, again, we have to figure ourselves out today. We need this to hold. Ideally, I would have had some sort of position inside of here already from yesterday. Some interesting stuff that happened like overnight, where we have like this print that's active. There's a bunch of buy-side prints working out right now too, which I think is interesting after taking these lows. But it's like overnight we kind of took all of this stuff, printed a sell-side entry here. Now this morning we've kind of taken out these lows, and one of these entries is valid because it happened after we took that low. So we'll see. Again, maybe this moves up into the partial area and then fails to sustain from there. Something like this would be welcome. I think if we take this, we probably just don't stop below this point here, but I don't know. It's like the sell side needs something like that to happen. Otherwise, this is gonna probably draw out a larger range, maybe. Maybe we hunt all the way up here. And we get the same thing, but just drawn out. That could be a possibility. Again, it's nothing really super clear that I like today. Again, just in the macro, I would just like to see us build some confidence in essentially holding below here. Again, we can form a new range here. We could expand this range a little bit. That's fine. That's all fine. I'm okay with that. What's good, Eric? How you doing, bro? So yeah, just kind of interested in that stuff. Aside from that, I really just been on this week kind of working on updates to the indicator. One, trying again to refine out some of these early entries that we just wouldn't take, stuff like this that's just happening in the middle of an area we just do not care about. again, the best filter to that stuff is us, right? With us just being smart enough to not take trades in shitty locations. So, you know, that's always going to be your best superpower. Primarily because, again, then it doesn't matter what you use, right? If you know how to spot good POIs and wait for patient setups between, you know, I mean, you could have your own POIs, but again, for me, is, you know, really strong external range liquidity, really strong internal range liquidity, lone candles, all right, good POIs, effort candles, good POIs. Again, we don't have any of that with this entry, so it's like very easy for the knowledgeable trader to look at that and be like, yeah, I'm just not taking that. Even with like these lows here, again, it's just like not that great of a trade. So again, that's always our best superpower, but still trying to code some of that stuff out. I have changed how targets work. It's a major upgrade that's coming to it soon. Maybe we'll see some of that develop here. We're about to hit that partial level right now. Actually, that partial level was tapped as it updated down here. So we'll see if some stuff starts to print the other way as we approach some of this liquidity. I would like to potentially fade against some of that. Double printing stop losses for some reason. Yeah, I think what's like most interesting to me is some of these overnight spikes. Yeah, these post-London spikes are very interesting to me. So like, look at all this volume that we got above the average. This is a little bit of a custom volume indicator, so this is doing something different. Like, you'll notice the moving average on this is very sporadic. It's actually kind of unique, but you can see it on both volume profiles. Again, it kind of spiked up. The moving average on this is a little smoother. Not to give like too much away, but the way the moving average works on this is it's session specific. So the moving average will jump up and down between different sessions because it'll only compare the average for the session that it's in. So like if I open this up and I turn the sessions back on, you'll kind of see what I mean by that. It's like anytime you see it spike like this, it's because it's entering a different session. So like this, the moving average in this yellow area is only comparing itself to the other volume in this yellow area. So it's like London volume versus London volume, ignoring the New York, the after the pre-market and all that other fun stuff, right? The overnight. So again, it's just comparing, you know, whereas this moving average will just compare the last X amount of bars. It doesn't care what session it's in. So that allows me to get like long periods of session specific moving average volume. I'll be honest, it's not too different. Again, if I overlay them, like you can see like both still push above the 20. It's just that when the session changes, it, you know, it could be higher or lower. So I'll see long term if that's actually worth anything. Because it is something that I've relatively made as of like this week, but we'll see if that actually has like an impact. But it is interesting to me how much volume that is above the average, specifically during London. And again, now we can kind of see price slowing down into the open here. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if we erase some of this and we do continue to the downside. You know, will I execute on anything up here? I mean, I don't know. We'll see if, you know, if maybe Pro does print anything, but I do think that this, like, these absorptions from the London session at 4 o'clock are probably going to just continue to play out. I doubt we'll get a reprint, but again, maybe we do. Maybe we do. Wouldn't be opposed to it flipping back down tonight, especially after sweeping that small. Oh yeah, and like the 5-minute, there is a lone candle here. There's a lone candle on a couple time frames. You could look at this 5-minute one here that we just swept. You could also look at the 15-minute one, which, you know, I mean, we pushed pretty far past this one for us to kind of consider that. Again, we'll see if anything comes into play here. I really do think that if shorts are going to work, it's the people that got to play up in this area from 4 a.m. And even then, this might come back to break some of that even play with that if this does want to sell off. Again, though, I wouldn't be opposed to this taking these other highs first. Unfortunately, the sell-offs have been... they've been getting balled up relatively easily. Again, you know, war typically good for the markets, you know. Maybe not like full congressional approval of war, but when we do, you know, Middle Eastern attacks, generally the markets do trend up for the coming days after the fact. You know, what happened on Monday, where the market kind of, you know, fell on Monday immediately, a little bit after the open. Again, that's kind of just like a fake out type thing. You gotta understand, there's a lot of people that try to funnel into things like gold immediately at the open, so the market will just kind of laugh in the face of those people by, you know, essentially using that liquidity. So we'll see what comes of that. We saw a little bit of that on Bitcoin too, where again, like, Bitcoin makes these really nice kind of like equal highs off of Monday, corrects, kind of removes that hope, and then smashes through those. Again, what has Bitcoin really done here? Not too much. Again, we're just starting to kind of trade out of the daily range here. Again, if we look at volume, you know, volume is actually not too bad on the buying side. I'll give people that. It is kind of steadily increasing, but it's not doing anything too drastic in comparison to what we formed at the lows. So, I don't know. I still do think there's potential that it pulls back as far as like 80 to take out this lone candle, much like we did previously, where it's like, okay, we're maybe making that first move out, you know, maybe we correct some, maybe we push for the lone candle, then collapse. So, I mean, not one for drawing up two scenarios, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do something like this longer term. Again, I really just want this range to drag out so I can accumulate over time. Do I care if it falls below 60? Yeah, that'd be cool, but, you know, I don't specifically need that. So, I do think they're kind of just following the same little path here. But seems like ES is having a little bit more of a down day. Alright, starting to kind of correct again. You can see that early absorption from the indicator. It's the only thing that's printed on the 3 minutes, so we'll see if that runs for partial levels down to 68.11. Again, starting to get below some of this open price. NFP results tomorrow. What do we forecasted? Yeah, 59. So I care less about the NFP number, and I care more about the unemployment rate. I think unemployment, and I've been saying this for a long time, like a long time. Like, we're talking like, it's probably like 2-3 years now. I still think the unemployment rate is more or less kind of doomed. I think it's a slow grind up to like 5%, if not higher. So I'm really looking for that to increase. I'd like to see this tick up to 4.4. You know, NFP forecasted at 59K certainly helps with that idea. So, you know, we'll see how that becomes. I do think unemployment, again, is it's one of those conversations, right, that even the Fed is like starting to have. It's like, okay, well, you know, you have a bunch of layoffs that are happening in certain sectors because of things like AI. And again, regardless of how you feel about AI, it's a real thing, right? Jack Dorsey's company, Block, right, which owns things like Cash App, right, the parent company of Cash App, just laid off, like, I think it's like between 45 and like 60% of its workforce, basically citing AI, basically saying, hey, like, you know, our productivity was able to increase even with smaller teams, smaller, more focused teams, because they're leveraging AI. And you can do a lot, you know? As somebody who uses a lot of it myself to build stuff and doesn't know how to code and is able to do stuff, it's, you know, it's a real problem companies have to face. So it's that conversation. It's right, like, okay, well, you know, unemployment might get worse, but productivity for these companies might get better. So it's kind of like a weird double-edged sword where it's like, yeah, it's technically bad, but from the companies that are utilizing it, they're seeing, you know, more productivity. So they're saving money on certain costs and replacing that with a cheaper alternative. And so we'll have to see how that plays out. But I do think unemployment will continue to tick up. I do think it'll put a little bit more pressure on the Fed to consider rate cuts. Again, the Fed also in a weird spot, right? Powell is heading out. His replacement is coming in. I forget his name. Sorry. So yeah, we'll see. You know, we'll see what becomes of that as well. You know, it's like, what a changing of the guard, so to say. Is there pressure to cut rates? You know, incoming? Does Powell want to just recommend that they wait for that? Which is what I think the market expects, right? Like July, essentially July. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, again, I think this NFP number makes a lot of sense for forecast. I think unemployment, you know, again, a little slower on increasing. Maybe we get that 4.4. I'll be very happy if this comes out at 4.4. I'm confused. Is good news bad news? So the thing with that, if you're asking about the result itself, it really depends on where the asset trades to, right? Because, yeah, good news could be perceived as bad news if the market overpriced that good news, right? So it really just depends on how much the market tries to front run it as well. I'm not a big fan of playing the result. You won't find me on here at 8:15 saying, guys, the NFP number is going to come out lower. We must get into buys or sell. Like, that's just not the game I play. Those results will impact the next couple of months of price action, as it dictates what the Fed will likely be to do in June, July. So again, if you're one of those types of traders who like has to know what it does and how it's going to react, it's just not what I look to do with it. Now I will play off the result if I feel like what price action is doing is wrong, especially in a macro sense. But yeah, we're not speculating on that. That's Wally, by the way. Oh, okay, that's good to know. It's good to know. Pretty sure 80% of the ads I see are now AI. Yeah, it's like a buzzword. I mean, you know. There's no company in the world that's gonna get funding right now unless they have AI incorporated, or whatever they're doing is so crazy that it's like never been seen before. But the software bloat is definitely going to zero. I assume stronger data because the Fed to pause longer. No, I wouldn't say. Well, hold on. You said stronger job data. So if you, yeah. So like unemployment down. I mean, if unemployment were to like continue down, like 4.2, and yeah. I mean, at that point they're not incentivized to do it. I wouldn't say that they wouldn't do it, but they're definitely not more pressured to do it, so to speak. I mean, low rates, low unemployment, low inflation. I mean, shit, that's like a dream for the Fed. But I think ideally long term, that's would be an anomaly, so to say. So yeah, I think it just kind of puts them in like a neutral state, which is a really annoying state. We don't really want the Fed in like a neutral state where everything's kind of working out. That makes for boring markets, honestly. Then it becomes tough to fade results that are doing the wrong thing. So yeah, we don't want that. Yes, exactly. That sounds way too good to be true. Sounds way too good to be true. The markets are just not designed to work like that, unfortunately. All right, NQ continuing up, still playing this range. ES kind of falling flat. The Dow continuing lower, which is interesting. So partials level hit on those 3-minute Dow absorptions overnight. The runner level down at 48.90-ish. Yeah, just to show you guys some of the improvements, I guess, in like a backtesting way. TPs are becoming a little bit more dynamic on the indicator, so it'll set. I mean, TP1, TP2 is still the same thing. They've been reworded because TP2 is gonna move. So again, still works the same. You know, you have your break even level, boom, bam, you're now at break even. Your partials get hit. You know, whether or not you take partials, again, that's up to you. But as it moves into TP2 for the days that really trend, it just gives little bit of guidance, right? So it'll move stop loss up to a new level as well. So you'll have trailing recommendations for the trade. Obviously, 5R was hit, which is that main TP, but then it just moves up to a secondary TP. Again, this only really matters on days where price runs or our entry model provided such a tight stop that, you know, again, it just kind of works in our favor. And then this will just continue to trail until eventually, I mean, again, that runner got hit, so now your peak is plus 7R, stop loss moves up eventually until one or the other gets hit. I mean, that'll move infinitely, if price allows it to, or it'll lock in whatever the trailing stop is. Now, of course, you could have exited at the 7R up here. Maybe, you know, maybe you saw just the way this was kind of starting to form and you found a different exit, but it will find its exit at that. Or aside from that, there's another setting which you can turn on, which is never mind. I don't know what happened to it. Oh, we're not even showing OB signals. What are we doing here? Hold on, boys. This isn't even, let me hold on. Let me go back to current price so we can just keep an eye on that. Yeah, those London NQ shorts were just broke even now. ES is still chilling. 1 second though, because where the code went on this. This version of Pro is this version of Pro is not live. There's still a couple things I have to kick out. So you guys don't have this. This is only me testing around on some new stuff. There's some tweaks I want to make to the absorption models that will I don't know if it'll ultimately make them more accurate, but it will open up a array of actual absorption. I really don't know how to explain it because I haven't really begun to like fully code it out, but aside from that, there are changes coming to that as well because the absorption model could do with some improvements. All right, 1 second. Let me just do this real quick. Sometimes when I close TradingView, it reverts my code. Wow, this doesn't have it either. Okay, I must have been hallucinating this other feature that I made because apparently I don't even have it, which is super interesting to me. All right, let's see if let's see if NQ ends up printing anything here. Should not be using that term anymore. Although if you guys still have access to that, I do encourage you to continue to use that. Take a look at gold real quick, see if there's anything active on gold. Second. Not entirely sure where it got their settings from. Oil is still pushing 77, huh? Wow. Never printed it. This is how long it's been since I looked at oil. Alright, I'm gonna be watching NQ up here. This is about the only thing that I will look to potentially play from. I still think it probably takes this other high and draws this range out longer, but we'll see. We'll see if anything prints up here. If not, we'll call it a day. Again, I didn't really expect to push button today, but I did want to test some stuff and just come say what's up to the YouTube fam. I will be back to casual streaming next week. Probably Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, unless the market has moved something like 300, 400 points overnight. If we wake up in the morning, guys, and the market has already ran hard during London, I typically take those days off. That's why I say it's not like a set, like I'm not going to be trading on a set schedule inside the Discord. Some days I'm going to wake up and I'm just going to look at price and be like, I'm not trading today. And that's just what it's going to be. Just no point in us hopping on and staring at stuff. If y'all want to still do that, you guys are free to do that. Ain't nobody gonna stop you. Y'all could even hang out in a voice channel if y'all are trading. But yeah, your boys is at a point where if the markets are running hard overnight and I know I'm just be forcing stuff and looking at stuff that I normally wouldn't be looking at, there's absolutely no reason for us to be on stream in those situations. Let me see what else we have in chat here. Dow going opposite is interesting. Yeah, the Dow has a habit of doing that. It's playing catch up now, but it does have a habit of doing that. Have you tried the Flex account with MFF? No, I was looking at MFF. I don't even really know if I can specifically speak on prop firms still. I was a little restricted on what I could say about prop firms before, but I'm gonna speak on it anyway. Because your boy actually does like leveraging prop firms. There's nothing like your own money. And prop firms are very predatory against the average person. But again, if you're logical and you know how to risk appropriately for them, you can, just very simply not be an idiot. Their flex plans, yeah, I think this is what, like, the new version, because I still have core plans active with them that apparently I've been paying for like a couple of months, so shout out to me funding people's withdrawals and not trading on these accounts. But yeah, these look interesting. I mean, profit target 1.5k, max drawdown 1k. Oh, this is a 25k account. The 50k is 3k and 2k, drawdown end of day. 5 contracts, consistency rule, 50% on the eval, no consistency rule on the funded. You get micro scaling. Yeah, I mean, these are pretty standard accounts. I mean, this is like the Top Step competitor. Days to pay out 5, minimum profit per day 150. Requestable amount 50%, 80% profit. Yeah, these are like cut of the mill, pretty standard end of day accounts. What I find interesting are their rapid plans. Their rapid plan is interesting because the funded account is a real-time drawdown. So that's what I understand is like intraday, right? So it's like if you're losing profits, I think that pulls from your drawdown mode, which is annoying. But their 1-day payouts, you get 2K of drawdown. There's no daily drawdown limit. There's no consistency rule on the funded itself, which is interesting as well. So it's like no consistency 1-day payouts. I think the trick with this account is you just can't fall into the trap of trying to like scale in or do anything creative, or like this is the type of thing you have to use your trailing stop on. Right, those rapid plans. Like those rapid plans you have to trail behind price. And I think if you do that effectively, you probably could milk those. But yeah, they're not something that you just go break even on and walk away from. That's like an account you have to manage like intraday, which I know some people don't like, and I in particular don't like. But for an account that you could probably use just to like scalp moves, I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. Of course, the real-time thing stops me from actually trying it, but... am I still using... No, yeah, so when I started with that, we'll say, I basically had to... Well, there's a bunch of things I couldn't do. I couldn't execute, right, like live on screen. Which also greatly impacted my trade. I'm gonna be real with you guys, right? I have not done much trading this year. I'm gonna just be real with you. I think in total, like my actual trades that I've taken on my personal accounts, I think I'm up to like 7 for the year. I've really been in my lab with coding, building strategies, improving stuff. Like I've really been focused on that, family. It's just, you know, I've been doing so much of that over time, and I'm just excited because it's allowing me to do a lot of cool shit. So I'm not even like it's just a personal choice I made. So with the fact that I had to, you know, kind of stream at like my peak trading time, and I couldn't really do anything live on screen, like a lot of that impacted that. My focus shifted. So no. So like the answer is like no for like a lot of stuff like that. I either, you know, took withdrawals and then kind of like started full porting accounts to the point that, you know, I lost them or continued to get paid, which only really happened with like one account, you know. Or I had my personal accounts, which I took a more swing approach to, which, you know, as you guys know, I'm still even in some partial like MNQ shorts. So yeah, my trading kind of really took a back seat this year. So would I still use Top Step is probably like a better question. Just gonna toggle over to NQ real quick and see if anything's forming here. No, we'll keep an eye on ES as well. I don't know, man. Top Step has fallen from the graces of being the best. There's just a lot of changes they've made. I don't know if some are for the better. Again, I think if you're on XFAs, not much has changed. I don't know. I currently don't have any active accounts there. So, will I go back to them? I'm not sure. Maybe we'll have to see. I think that a lot of other firms are in this space. You know, can you trust them? I don't know. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. I mean, I like my funded futures. You know, I've heard things about Lucid. I've never used them. But yeah, as of right now, I don't really have anything like active across those firms. Again, like I've been paying for my I think 2 my funded futures core plans that I have. So again, we'll see we'll see if I can, you know, what I can do with those, because again, I've been paying for them. But yeah, I have nothing active at Top Step. Not fully. I no longer educate there. Magic lives on, and I, you know, do some work on Magic over there. But as far as like streaming goes, yeah, there's like me as an educator has ended. Right? I want to make that clear. My relationship with the company is not ended. We're still doing stuff, still working on stuff. But as far as like educating goes, yes. So for those of you that have access to the product over there, I encourage you guys, you know, continue to use it, continue to provide feedback, all that fun stuff. Alright, let's see here. We got 3-minute engulfing candle, no volume, so we got no new prints on NQ. Let me just check the micro. No, the micro is the same. Yes. Yes, no print either. Yeah, I don't know if we get prints, man. I think today looks just mostly like a range-bound day. You see how much different the moving average is between these? You see how this moving average gets pulled all the way up, that these candles are now below it? I'm telling you, I'm gonna crack a better way to calculate that. I just need time in the lab with that one. Just need time in the lab with that one. Personally, I haven't really been. This is about Top Step. Haven't been a fan since it switched over to their own trading platform. Yeah, well, the thing that really I think pisses people off with Top Step is like you can't like. It's not even that Top Step X has issues, because like here's the thing now, right? That the industry is gonna learn, right? The industry, because like now there's a bunch of trading platforms popping up right now because everybody can like vibe code, and Claude's not an idiot anymore, and Claude can actually build stuff. There's a bunch of other trade platforms out there. There's something called Wealth Charts. There's something called TradeC. There's something that My Funded Futures is building. So like now everybody in the world is gonna have their own custom platform. And again, they're going to learn that like the issues that Top Step X had are just typical scaling issues. You know, you can't. You know, when they pull Tradeovate support, and then now all their clientele are buying Top Step X, and you have all that increased, you know, usage, it strains the software. And again, you're gonna have issues. Stuff's gonna break more frequently the more people you have. People are doing weirder things. They opened up API access, which added even more stress. Like, you gotta understand, like, as either platforms grow and do stuff, they're gonna run into similar issues. Like, TradeC is gonna have a day where it goes down eventually, and Twitter's X is gonna be the same thing. People bitching and complaining and saying I should have stayed with XYZ, and it's never gonna end. It's just all software, you know. So again, like, that's like, listen, when you guys are trading, you have to understand there's more risk in the markets than just where you put your stop loss, right? There is such a thing called platform risk, meaning that your trading terminal breaks, your brokerage connectivity goes down, a power line in your town falls and you lose Wi-Fi. These are all risks that are always there. You just don't encounter them every day. So yeah, when a platform goes down and, you know, somebody misses out on opportunity, it sucks. Sometimes the platforms try to make it right. Sometimes they fail to do so to the standard that the customer wants. But these are risks you take every single day, man. Every single day. There's so many different things that can go down. It can screw up your day outside of what you're doing on the charts. So, I think the people that complain, again, like, they're right in the moment, but ultimately it's one of those things that are just, you gotta just move past it as fast as you can. So, this guy was legit 30% of the readers, and I wasn't even over there. Only 30%? It's kind of heartbreaking. Nah, there's a bunch of cool people over there. I wouldn't fault anybody. I kind of wish NQ would print something here. I mean, we're just realistically, we're just not gonna get a print. I can just tell from the structure of everything. I mean, if this up candle had more volume in it, we could have had an absorption play. That would have been nice. If this pushed up with more volume than we saw, you know, some of the open candles, and then erase. I mean, again, you can make your own market structure assumptions here, maybe, and you know, if you like to just play the grab of liquidity without considering volume and stuff like that, and really just play like a structural type setup, I mean, this is like an option. It's an option. Again, it's not an option I'm going to execute on, but, you know, if you can get a nicer close below that candle, you know, there's some stuff I could see people playing. Again, it's not as per my plan, but I wouldn't doubt if the market structure players play like that. What's good, Abel? How you doing, bro? Yeah, I know I should have joined you on Kick, my friend. I seen that you've been over on Kick, killing it. Man, got like 80 viewers average. You know, some calm shit, Proud of my boy, though. Proud of my boy. Yeah, let me know, though. Should I make the move to Kick, bro? What's good? Getting paid by the hour over there? GC hit? Let's take a look at GC real quick for our boy. GC hit. What are we looking at, friend? What are we looking at? Below some lows. Oh, we took that 5-minute lone candle. Okay. That was volume look on this push. Pretty high, which is nice. Also, we're taking out what I would call an effort candle. Alright, candle, large wick, high effort. Alright, that's not bad. You got a little double POI action there. Get printing down here is going to be tough with that candle. Check out my volume indicator real quick. Watch that. Yeah, see, there's some logic that's happening inside of here that I wanna. If you can spot it, I would love to alert of like maybe it won't be a full confirmed alert, but I might begin to like start alerting like potential absorption on the close of that bullish candle. This 5-minute probably wouldn't print it if it closes. Well, it wouldn't print it if it closes like this. So, based off that, you can maybe figure out where I'm kind of leaning in some of the logic there. But yeah, this is not a bad POI to potentially trade away from. You know, running stops below here, take out a bunch of these highs. I mean, that's a 1 to 2. Is there any other clear, nice liquidity? I mean, none of these highs are super nice, so again, maybe you look for like a swing up into some of the inefficiency up here. But it's interesting POI. Again, I don't think you're gonna get any sort of prints from the indicator, but Abel going for that kick full contract. Yeah, I hope he gets it, bro. I hope he's I mean, I know Kick has, you know, their little Kick program. I don't really know how it works, so it is what it is. But I don't know if that factored into why he moved. Oh, he's right there. It's not terrible. You can make a bag for sure once you're able to average. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's all, you know, it's all relative where you stream as long as people show up. I don't know if I'll be back full-time public on YouTube. Maybe we do. I don't know. Maybe. I don't think it's ready yet. Alright, let's pop back over to indices real quick, see what these are doing. NQ still just hanging around. Yeah, I mean, this ES is still alive by the graces of a couple points there. The Dow's about to hit its runner, which is we're actually gonna keep an eye on this just because I want to see this work in real time. I haven't seen this work in real time yet, so I want to just make sure this is all good on its new trailing logic. So when we hit that runner level, the trailing stop should push to about the partial level, and then our runner should extend probably somewhere down to the 47,950-ish area. What's your name? What's my name on Kick? I have no idea. I don't know if I have a Kick account. If you're talking about Abel, I don't know. Abel is more than welcome to drop his. I imagine it's just his name though. So I'm sure if you just search his name, you'll find him. I don't know. I could try streaming on Kick one day and see what it's about. Yeah, it's gonna be annoying that MNQ'd, like NQ didn't print. It had the opportunity to with this engulfing candle. We just didn't have the volume, man. Just didn't have the volume. It's gonna be the game, is what it is. Alright, guys, I just want to see if this pushes into this runner. I'll probably end up ending stream after that, because I'm not really doing too much here, and I have, actually I have a couple meetings today, / some more kind of work to do on some of these newer features, so, again, I kind of want to get some of this stuff out to the published version of the indicator for, next week. Actually, I just really quickly want to see something. Because I want to see, where did my code go? See, now I'm scared to like change this. All right, let's just see if this hits real quick, and then I'll test that other thing. I love this song. Make me feel like. Make me feel like. Yeah. Don't nobody else make me feel like. Don't nobody else make me feel like. So don't nobody else make me feel like. Yeah. Don't nobody else make me feel like. Twitch is still a better platform streaming-wise, but there are more traders and degenerates overall. Oh, fair enough. I could agree with that. Okay, I see your play. I see your play. I don't know if are you multi-streaming? I don't think you are, because I definitely follow you on Twitch, and I don't think I get notifications. All right, let's see if this works. Boom. Oh, come on, Dow, just hit it. Don't play these games now. Boom. Hey, there we go. Yep, see, so stop loss moved, plus 5R, new runner target. I like it. Like it. TSL just stands for trailing stop loss, by the way, if you or wrapping your mind around what that could be. All right, let me just real quick. I just want to hold on. I'm gonna quickly do this again, guys. I'm sorry. Just want to see if this other. Where's this other? Yes, last night I never ended up saving that file, which is crazy. Yeah, there goes NQ and ES playing catch up with the Dow, man. It's unfortunate the Dow is the nicest, the nicest overnight trade, pushing 5R right now. For those available at 4:15 in the morning. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna do this one more time, and I'll show this off, and then if not, we'll probably wrap this up. I just don't understand why. I must have, like, accidentally copied the other code. Settings. But dude, I swear to you, it's not here. Okay, there we go. Alright, so I don't know why this was being a pain before. Yeah, see, with this setting turned on, this got trailed out. But 1 second. Let's see if I could just adjust this real quick. Yeah, I mean, again, I have to kind of tweak some of this stuff, but this is what I would use on those rapid accounts. All right, this is what I would use on those rapid accounts. So in this situation, you don't get any target. This gives you no targets. I mean, I armor you guys being smart enough to figure out your own targets, right? But this gives you no targets, and it just trails the stop as price begins to move and change structurally speaking. So at some point, this should... See, boom. So now it wants you to trail to here. And then as that continues to move, it wants you to trail to there. So it gives you no targets, it just trails behind, and then you can kind of just scalp for whatever you go to scalp for. So boom, moves it again. Alright, price pulls back, moves it again. And then unfortunately got that wicked out. So again, I'll have to tweak settings on this. This is just a conceptual setting. But yeah, it's kind of how that works. I think that's better for the accounts that have like intraday drawdown. People that trade on like Apex with intraday or something else. Obviously, it's going to have like worse results on some trades and better results on other trades. But yeah, Jen, just improvements. That being said, guys, I think I'm going to wrap up today from there. Got to test what I wanted to test. ES and NQ just continuing lower. Again, so kind of did what we were looking for in terms of structure. Alright, just taking out these overnight highs. It's really unfortunate we didn't get any prints up here. Kind of wish we would have. Again, probably would have been tempted to maybe take something with you guys and then go from there. But yeah, we just unfortunately did not get that. So here's to NQ and ES and the Dow all continuing lower in the macro. Alright, I'm very much not able on this stuff. I still want to see NQ push below. I still want to see NQ push below 23k. So don't talk to me until these levels are taken on NQ. Alright, I believe in it. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but these equal lows are gonna get taken at some points, and your boy is here for it. Crypto again, you know, I am bearish crypto. Maybe we do pull back to that 80 if we, for some reason, push above this 74.5, but if we hold here, your boy thinks this is going back down to where it came from. So that's that, family. Love and appreciate y'all hopping on with me today. My first day back on YouTube/casual streaming. If y'all know me, if you need me, y'all know where you can find me. Maybemarkets.com. Appreciate y'all. It's your boy. I'm out of here.
Don't nobody else make me feel like. Yeah. Don't nobody else make me feel like. Don't nobody else make me feel like. Don't nobody else make me feel like. So don't nobody else make me feel like. Yeah. Don't nobody else make me feel like. Don't nobody else make me feel like. So don't nobody else make me feel like. Yeah. Don't nobody else make me feel like. Ooh. Don't nobody else make me feel like. Ooh. Don't nobody else make me feel like. So don't nobody else make me feel like. Yeah. Don't nobody else make me feel like. Don't nobody else make me feel like. Don't nobody else make me feel like. Yeah. Don't nobody else make me feel like. Don't nobody else make me feel like. Don't nobody else make me feel like.